My fingers touch the wool, and everything changes. Power, pure, absolute, entering like a river of fire that doesn't burn, sweeping away what has been broken for 12 years. The bleeding stops after 4,380 days, after 100,092 hours. It stops. I feel the exact moment, like a faucet turned off, like a wound sealed, like life returning where only death existed. Strength explodes in my legs, in my arms, in my skeletal body. I am healed. But how did I get here? How did a woman more dead than alive manage to touch a holy man? 30 seconds ago, I was crawling in the mud, in the dung, in despair. The crowd trampling me, no one looking down, everyone shouting for Jesus. 1 minute ago, my hand was crushed under a sandal. My ribs broke again under a careless foot. But I didn't stop. I couldn't stop. 12 years ago, the bleeding began and never stopped. Doctors failed. Money ran out. But family waited, even when I left home searching for the impossible cure. Until today, until this moment, until this touch. The white fringes with blue threads, what we call tzitzit, the sacred fringes that every Jewish man wears to remember the commandments, are still between my dirty fingers. And he turns. Who touched me? I am 40 years old, 12 of those years spent dying, but everything is about to change because I didn't just touch a cloak, I touched hope, and hope has a name, Jesus. But to understand this moment, to understand how I got here, I need to go back to the beginning, when life was sweet, when an 8-year-old still laughed. The scream cut through the afternoon like a blade through fabric. I was 8 years old. I was at the well with Miriam, my best friend since we learned to walk. We just filled our clay jars with the fresh water that rose from deep in the earth. Cold water even in the scorching summer. Merom had the best wells in the region. The water sprang from somewhere down there, between the limestone rocks that formed the hills around us. I was balancing the jar on my head, practicing. My mother, Rachel, daughter of Benjamin, said that when I could carry water without spilling a drop from the well all the way home, I would be ready to be considered a young woman. But the scream made me jump. The jar fell, exploded into pieces on the basalt stone, that black, hard stone that came from ancient volcanoes long before any of us were born. The water spread like a broken mirror, reflecting the blue sky for a second before disappearing into the dry earth. "Tamar, your mother's going to..." Miriam's began, but another scream cut off her words, sharper, more desperate, with a pain underneath that even an 8-year-old child recognized. "David!" Esther's voice, his sister, broke into sobs. "Someone, please! David fell from the tree!" We dropped everything, the jars, the water. We ran. The streets of Merom were narrow, winding alleys between the white limestone houses that gleamed in the sun. They weren't planned like Roman cities with their straight streets. They were organic. They grew like vines following the natural contour of the hills. Our bare feet pounded the packed earth, raising dust that stuck to the sweat. The fig tree was at the entrance of the village. Everyone knew it. It had been there before my grandfather was born, maybe before my grandfather's grandfather. An enormous trunk, as thick as 3 men with outstretched arms, with gray, rough bark. The branches extended like the arms of a generous giant, offering shade and sweet figs every summer. David was under it, on the ground of stone and earth, very still. Then I saw the arm. My stomach twisted violently. Bile rose, burning my throat, but I didn't look away. Even at 8 years old, I was already learning from my mother. You don't look away from suffering. You face it, you witness it, because pretending it doesn't exist doesn't make the pain disappear. David's arm wasn't right. It bent in the wrong place. Between the elbow and wrist, where it should be straight, there was a curve, and through the torn skin, bone, white, gleaming wet in the sun. Blood was flowing, bright red, almost orange under the strong light, forming a puddle in the earth that drank it too quickly. Tamir was on her knees beside her brother, 12 years old, 4 more than David, hands over her mouth, eyes wide, crying but soundless now, in shock. The adults came running. Simon, the potter, Miriam's father, with hands still stained with red clay he used to make jars. Benjamin, the shepherd, my maternal grandfather, with his staff still in hand, leaving the sheep alone in the fields to the north. My father, Elimelech, son of Jacob, who traded olive oil and was returning from a trip to Sepphoris. But my mother arrived first. I don't know how. She was at home, 2 streets away, working at the vertical loom that dominated our small main room. But when the scream tore through the air, she was already running, as if she'd felt it through her skin, the way mothers feel. Rachel, daughter of Benjamin, my mother. She wasn't big, actually she was small, barely reached my father's shoulder, thin with delicate hands of someone who spent days making threads dance on the loom, hands that created beauty from wool and linen. But there was something about her, something that made people obey when she spoke, something that made wounds heal when she touched, a quiet authority that came from generations of knowledge passed from mother to daughter. "Step back," she ordered, her voice low but clear as a bell. "Everyone, give him space. He needs to breathe." People immediately stepped back, respecting not social position. We were nothing special, but knowledge, skill, trust earned through years of healing hands. My mother knelt in the warm earth. Her hands hovered over David's arm without touching. Her eyes, dark brown like wet earth, examined everything. The angle, the break, the blood, calculating, planning the next steps. I saw her face, always impassive when she worked, but I knew the signs, the small muscle that pulsed in her jaw when she was worried, the way her eyes narrowed slightly when she saw something serious. This was serious. "Jonathan," she called, without looking back. She knew he would be there. Jonathan was always where there was excitement. "Jonathan, run home. In our room, in the right corner, there's a cedar chest. Inside is a clay bottle sealed with red wax, not the wine we drink at meals, the strong one that your father keeps. Also, bring all the clean linen cloths that are drying on the roof, all of them, quick as the wind." Jonathan was 6 years old, short legs, but he took off running as if wolves were chasing him. Jonathan was pure energy, a small human hurricane that never stopped, never tired, always running, climbing, exploring, coming home covered in dirt and scratches and smiling as if he'd discovered the secrets of the universe. But in that moment, his energy had purpose, and he shot through the narrow streets faster than I had ever seen him. "Here, Ima, I brought everything." Perfect. She took the bottle, broke the wax seal with her nails, pulled out the cork stopper. The strong smell of undiluted wine exploded in the air. Acrid, potent, pure wine that burned the throat of even adults accustomed to it. My mother poured it directly on the open wound. David's howl made the birds take flight from the surrounding trees, dozens of them exploding in a black cloud against the blue sky. It wasn't a human scream, it was the sound of an animal caught in a trap, of a creature in pure, absolute agony, tearing at the throat, tearing at the soul. He tried to get up, to arch, to escape that pain that burned as if she had thrown live coals on exposed flesh. But Miriam and I held him, with all our weight, all our strength, pressing his shoulders against the ground. David was bigger than us, normally stronger, but the pain weakened him, drained his resistance, and we were two, and we had purpose to keep him still so my mother could work. And she worked, fast, efficient, her hands dancing with the same grace they danced on the loom. She took one of the clean cloths, folded it in thick layers, padded around the arm, protection, cushioning, immobilization. Then she took long strips of linen, torn from an old cloak, and began to tie, tight, firm, starting from the fingers and going up to the elbow, creating a rigid splint, completely immobilized. When she finished, the arm was straight, protected, safe. I'd watched everything, every movement, every decision, fascinated despite the horror, wanting to learn, wanting to know how to do what my mother did so naturally. Sarah, David's mother, came.
The days followed their rhythm after that, the rhythm of the seasons, the rhythm of the earth, the rhythm of life in Merom, our small village nestled in the hills of Upper Galilee. Merom wasn't important, not like Sepphoris, the largest city in the region, just a day's walk to the south. Not like Tiberias, the new capital that Herod Antipas, the tetrarch of Galilee, was building on the shores of the Sea of Galilee. Not like Jerusalem, the holy city, distant in the south, where the temple stood. We were just 60, maybe 70 families, scattered across the gentle slopes of the hills. White limestone houses, taken from the quarries to the north, with flat clay roofs. Narrow, winding streets, a central well, a small synagogue, just one large room where we gathered on Shabbat, the day of rest. We produced three things mainly: olive oil, wheat, and wool. The olive trees that my grandfather and great-grandfather planted covered the slopes around the village, row after row of them, gnarled gray trunks, silver leaves that whispered in the wind. In autumn, when the olives ripened, changing from green to dark purple, the whole village harvested, beating the branches with long poles, the olives falling like dark rain onto the cloth spread below. Then we pressed. The enormous stone presses, operated by donkeys walking in circles, crushing the olives, the golden oil flowing. Pure, rich. Some said it was the best in all of Galilee. My father traded that oil. He traveled to Sepphoris, to Ptolemais on the coast, to Damascus to the north, carrying sealed jars, coming back with silver coins, with imported fabrics, with spices, with stories of worlds beyond our hills. The wheat fields were in the valleys between the hills, red, rich earth. At the end of winter and beginning of spring, they were vivid green, then golden, rippling in the wind like a solid sea. The harvest came in early summer, sickles cutting, hands tying bundles, taking them to the threshing floor, a circle of smooth stone, where oxen trampled, separating the grain from the chaff. Then we threw it all in the air with wooden shovels. The wind took the light chaff, the heavy grains fell, separated, clean. And the sheep, always the sheep. My grandfather, Benjamin, old now but still strong, was a shepherd. He took the flocks to the higher hills where the grass grew, spent days there, nights too, living in a goatskin tent, protecting against wolves, against jackals, against thieves who came down from the mountains to the north. The wool from those sheep, sheared in spring after the lambs were born, became fabric in the women's hands, and no one wove like my mother. The loom dominated our house. It wasn't a small piece of furniture you could put away. It was a permanent structure. 2 thick posts of oak wood, which grew in the distant mountains, firmly planted in the packed earth floor. My grandfather, Benjamin, had made them for my mother when she married. Good wood, hard, that would last generations. The vertical threads, what we called the warp, were tied to the upper post, dozens of them, sometimes hundreds, depending on the width of the cloak my mother was making. Limestone weights, cylinders drilled in the center, hung on the lower ends of each thread, keeping everything taut, perfectly taut. The weights swung slightly when my mother worked, click, 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 a rhythmic sound, comforting. My mother sat on a low wooden bench polished with use, bare feet firmly planted on the ground, back straight, And her fingers danced. The shuttle, an elongated piece of wood with rounded ends, went back and forth through the vertical threads, carrying the horizontal thread, the weft. Left, right, tack, tack, tack. The constant rhythm, hypnotic, like a heartbeat. And she sang, always sang while she worked. Hine ma tov umanaim, shevet achim gam yahad. Behold how good and pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity. Her voice filled the house, clear, sweet, like honey dripping from honeycomb, like spring water on a hot day. I sat beside her, whenever I could, watching, fascinated by the magic, because it was magic, had to be. How did fabric emerge from chaos? How did loose threads become something solid, useful, beautiful? Come, Tamar, she would say without stopping her work. Hold this thread here, carefully. That's it. Now pull gently, not too much, just enough to maintain tension. I obeyed. Clumsy. My 8-year-old fingers were crude compared to hers. I fumbled. The thread escaped, got too loose or too tight, but she was patient, always patient. It takes time, she would say. I learned from my mother. It took me years before I could make a decent fabric. You'll learn too, when your fingers grow, when they gain the memory of movement. What's this, Ima? I asked one day. There was a thread on the loom that was different, thinner than the others, more delicate, almost translucent in the light. Linen, she explained. It comes from the flax plant, grows in the Jordan Valley, down south, much more expensive than wool, more laborious to make, but finer, cooler to wear in summer when the heat burns. And this blue? I always came back to the blue. There were blue threads interwoven in the fabric she was making. Deep blue, beautiful, almost violet in certain light. Techelet, she said the word in Hebrew. You pronounce it techelet. It means blue, but not just blue, the sacred blue. It comes from a creature of the sea, a snail that the Greeks call murex, lives in the depths, needs thousands, maybe tens of thousands to make a little bit of dye. That's why it's so expensive, why it's so precious. Why do we use it then, if it's so expensive? Because the Eternal commanded it. Her fingers never stopped while she spoke, moving, weaving, creating. When he gave the laws to Moses, our great teacher, at Mount Sinai, he commanded that men should wear tzitzit, the fringes on the edges of garments, to remember the commandments, to remember that we're different. And in those fringes, he said, there must be a thread of techelet, a blue thread, to remember the sky, to remember that there's something above us, someone above us, to remember that we're the separated people, the holy people, Am Segula, the eternal special people. She stopped working for a moment, something rare, looked at me, directly in the eyes. Do you know what that means, Tamar, daughter of Elimelech? I shook my head. I didn't know. It means we're different, not because we're better. We're not. Moses made that very clear. We're not the most numerous people, we're small. We're not the most powerful, we're under Rome. We are in fact a stiff-necked people, stubborn, as Moses called us, but the Eternal chose us anyway, out of love, out of faithfulness to the promise he made to Abraham. And now we carry a responsibility to guard the Torah, the law, the Eternal's instruction, to show the world that there is one God, true, who cares about justice, about kindness, about mercy. Even under Rome? The question escaped. 8 years old, but I already knew. We all knew. We lived under occupation. Foreigners commanded our land. Tax collectors stole our money. Soldiers patrolled our roads. A distant emperor, Augustus Caesar, was called a god. And we just survived. My mother sighed, returned to weaving. Slower now. Especially under Rome, she said finally. Rome conquered the world with swords, with legions that march in perfect formation, with brutal discipline, with fear. But we, she said, we're going to conquer with something stronger, with truth, with kindness, with example, with faithfulness to the Eternal even when it seems impossible.
One day, daughter, one day there will be only one God worshipped in all the earth, and it won't be Jupiter or Zeus or Caesar or any false god. It will be the eternal, Hashem, the name, blessed be forever. I stored those words like precious grains in a sealed jar for the future, for when I would need to remember who I was, where I belonged to, what I belonged to. While my mother wove, Jonathan caused chaos. Tamar, look! His constant shout, always shouting, always showing something, always at the center of some adventure or disaster. This time he had found a snake nest, not one snake, a nest, tiny babies, no bigger than my fingers, coiled together under a sun-warmed stone. "Don't touch it," I yelled. "The mother might be nearby." "I already looked, she's not." "Jonathan!" Too late. He picked one up, the little snake coiling around his hand, the head rising, the forked tongue coming out, tasting the air. Our mother appeared, as she always appeared when Jonathan did something dangerous, maternal instinct, or extremely sharp hearing. "Drop that. Now." 3 words, tone of voice that allowed no disobedience. Jonathan dropped it. The snake fell, disappeared into a crack between the rocks. "It's a water snake, Ima. It's not poisonous." "What if you were wrong? What if it was a viper?" She held his shoulders, firm, looked into his eyes. "One day, Jonathan, son of Elimelech, your luck will run out, and I won't be there to save you. Understand? One day you'll be wrong, and it will be too late." "But Ima..." "No buts. You're 6 years old. You have your whole life ahead of you. Don't throw it away through reckless curiosity." Jonathan lowered his head, ashamed for a moment, but the next day he was climbing the tallest olive tree on the west slope, looking for birds' nests, coming back covered in scratches and smiling like a conqueror. He was who he was.
My father took me to a specific merchant, a Phoenician, an old man, long graying beard, rich clothes, deep purple, the color of kings. "Elimelech," he opened his arms, smiling, yellowed teeth but all present. "My friend, how long it's been." "Hiram," my father embraced him. "I brought the best, 6 jars, first pressing, pure liquid gold. Let me see." My father opened one jar, broke the wax seal, pulled out the cork. Hiram stuck his finger in, tasted, his eyes closed, savoring. "Excellent, as always." He gestured. 2 slaves came, started loading the jars. "Usual price?" "Usual price plus 10%, my father said, firm but smiling. The harvest was hard this year, little rain. Each olive was worth gold. "Hard for you means hard for me to sell expensive," Hiram responded, but he was smiling too. 5%? 8. 7, and not 1 coin more. 7 then, but you owe me a favor. "I always owe favors. That's how business works." Hiram laughed. Then he saw me. "Who is this?" "My daughter, Tamar. First trip to Sephora." "Ah." Hiram crouched down, eyes at the same level as mine. "And what do you think, little Tamar, of our great city?" I thought, honest. It's big, it's beautiful, but also scary and sad because of the slaves. Silence. I expected to have said something wrong, to have offended, but Hiram smiled, slowly, genuine, wise, very wise. He stood up, looked at my father. "This one will go far. She has eyes that see, heart that feels, head that thinks." He turned back to me. "The world is broken, girl, but people like you, people who see the broken, those are the ones who fix it. One day." I didn't understand completely, but I stored the words. We returned to Sephora 6 months later, spring. I was 10 years old now. This time, my father had longer business. He needed to meet several merchants, buy fabrics for my mother, spices, new seeds to plant. "Stay close," he instructed me. "Don't wander off. Don't talk to strangers. Come back here to the central well when the sun is there," he pointed, "halfway to zenith. Understand?" Understood. He went, and I explored. The market during the day was different from the last visit. More crowded, noisier, more alive. Merchants shouting, "Dates, the best dates from Arabia. Linen, Egyptian linen fine as air. Lambs, unblemished lambs for sacrifice."
children running, dogs barking, donkeys braying, doves cooing in cages. I was fascinated, walking, looking, absorbing everything. Then I heard it. "Give it back, it's mine, mine." A boy's voice, young, scared, but with anger underneath. I turned, saw 3 big boys, maybe 15, 16 years old, surrounding another one, smaller, maybe 12, 13, cornered against a wall, and one of the big ones was holding a cloth bag. "Yours?" the biggest one mocked. "I don't see your name on it." "Give it back, it's all I have, everything." "Too bad." The second big one opened the bag, poured the contents into his hand. 3 bronze coins, tiny, almost worthless. Also a piece of dry bread, hard cheese. "This is all? Pathetic." "Please." The smaller boy was almost crying, but holding it back, pride preventing tears. "I need that. It's for the whole week. My mother, we don't have. Please." "Should have thought about." The third big one pushed. The boy fell, hitting the stone floor, and something in me broke, or awoke, I don't know. I picked up a stone, from the ground, size of my hand, heavy, sharp on one side. "Give it back," I yelled, and threw. My aim was good. Years of throwing stones at birds eating the harvest. Years of games with Jonathan. The stone hit the big one holding the bag, on the shoulder, hard. He yelled, dropped the bag, the coins and food falling. All 3 turned, saw me, a girl, 10 years old, alone. "You." The biggest one started, voice dangerous. "Run," the smaller boy yelled, already on his feet, already grabbing the coins, the food, everything back in the bag. I ran. He ran. The 3 big ones ran after us, through the narrow streets, turning corners, jumping obstacles, my heart pounding, lungs burning, legs moving faster than ever in my life. The boy was ahead of me. He knew the city, turned left, right, left again. The big ones were losing ground, heavier, slower. Finally, the boy pulled around a corner, disappeared. I followed, and we were in a tiny alley, hidden behind a pile of empty jars, breathing, waiting, listening. The big ones ran past. Where'd they go? I don't know. Forget it, not worth it. Silence. We waited another minute, 2, 3. Finally, I breathed. They're gone. "Thank you," the boy said, panting. "Thank you so much. You saved me." I looked at him properly for the first time. Dark brown hair, curly, messy, brown eyes, intelligent, alert, skin tanned from the sun, thin, very thin, like someone who didn't eat enough, patched clothes, worn, but clean. He had pride at least. "Why did they attack you?" "Because they can," he shrugged, bitter. "I'm an orphan, no father, poor mother. I work the streets to earn coins, carry things for merchants, clean, whatever I can get. And bullies? Bullies take from the weak. That's how the world works. It shouldn't work that way, but it does." He looked at the bag. "This? 3 coins, dry bread, hard cheese. It's everything for the week, my mother and me. If they had taken it." His voice broke. He didn't finish. "What's your name?" "Boaz, son of Nachshon from Cana." He looked at me. "And you?" "Tamar, daughter of Elimelech from Merom." "Nice to meet you, Tamar of Merom." He extended his hand. I shook it. His hand was rough, calloused, from hard work, and something passed between us in that moment, in that alley in Sepphoris. Connection, recognition, as if our souls said, "Ah, you, I was waiting for you." But we weren't romantic. I was 12, he was 12 or 13, still children, just friends in that moment, just friends. But friendships can be seeds, and seeds grow, if watered, if cared for, if time allows. My father found us eventually, near the central well, Boaz and I sitting, talking, laughing now about the bullies, about the escape, about life. "Who's this?" my father asked, not threatening, just curious. "Boaz, from Cana. He needed help. I helped." My father listened to the whole story. Boaz told it, honest, brutally honest, about being an orphan, about working to survive,
about the bullies. When he finished, my father was quiet, thinking, "You work hard?" "Yes, sir." "You complain?" "No, sir." "You steal?" "Never." Firm, eyes direct. My mother taught me, we can be poor, but we're not thieves. "Good," my father nodded. "Come, help me carry these purchases back to the donkeys. I'll pay you 3 bronze coins, and I'll give you real bread, real cheese, not the dry leftovers there." Boaz's eyes widened. "Seriously?" "Seriously, but work properly, no slacking." "I'll work, I promise." And he did. My father bought a lot that day. Fabrics, spices, tools. Heavy, very heavy. Boaz carried it all, without complaining, without stopping, sweating but persisting. When we finished, my father gave him the coins and also fresh bread, cheese, olives, dates. "Thank you, sir. Thank you so much." "You're welcome." My father studied him. "You come to Sepphoris often?" "Every week, looking for work." "Then meet us here, same place, next week. I have more work if you want it." I want it, very much. And so it began, the relationship between my father and Boaz, between our family and that boy from Cana, a relationship that would change everything, for all of us. Boaz started coming to Merom. Not immediately, it took months. My father hired him in Sepphoris every week, paid well, paid fairly, and Boaz worked like no other, carrying, organizing, learning, and learning fast. He had a sharp mind. My father noticed. He began to teach him, not just how to carry, but how to negotiate, how to read people, how to know if someone was lying about product quality, how to bargain without offending, how to build long-term relationships instead of just making a quick sale. "This boy has something special," my father said one night. We were on the roof, stars shining. "He has hunger, not for food, though he has that too, but hunger to learn, to grow, to be more than he was born to be. I know that hunger. It's rare, it's precious. Are you going to hire him permanently?" "I'm thinking about it. He and his mother need it, and I'm getting old. Jonathan is a good boy, but doesn't have the head for business. Too much energy, too little attention. But Boaz could learn everything, could even take over one day if he wanted." And then on a summer afternoon when I was 11, Boaz and his mother, Devorah, came to Merom. They arrived at sunset, walking, carrying everything they owned, which wasn't much. 2 bundles, clothes, a few possessions, that was all. Devorah was thin, very thin, like someone who had starved more times than eaten. Her face marked, not by age, she was maybe...
The wedding was a month later. Boaz wanted to wait until he was completely healed. The arm healed. It left a thick, ugly scar from elbow to wrist, but it worked, and Boaz wasn't ashamed of it. "Scars tell stories," he said. "This one tells that I survived, that I fought, that I came back to you. It's a mark of honor, not shame." The village prepared. A wedding was a community celebration. Everyone contributed. Food, wine, decorations, music. They built the huppah, the wedding canopy, near the old fig tree. 4 posts of olive wood, a cloak stretched between them, open sky above, firm earth below. Heaven and earth united, as groom and bride would be united. I wore my dress, fine linen, the best my mother could make, pure white, with edges of blue thread, tehelit, braided in elaborate patterns. It must have taken months, her hands bleeding from so much work, but perfect, absolutely perfect. A veil covering my face, protection against the evil eye, against envy, against bad spirits. I walked, slowly, processionally, my father on one side, my mother on the other, leading me to the huppah, to the future, to new life. Boaz waited. New clothes, white cloak with blue fringes, hair and beard combed, trembling slightly, from nerves, from anticipation, from joy. The rabbi began, the 7 blessings, ancient, sacred, connecting our marriage to all marriages since Adam and Eve. "Blessed are you, eternal our God, King of the universe, who created the fruit of the vine." Shared wine. Boaz drank, then I did. Sweet, rich, symbolizing the sweetness of life together. Blessed are you who created all things for your glory. Blessed are you, creator of the human being. Blessed are you who created the human being in your image. Blessed are you who makes Zion rejoice through her children. Blessed are you who makes groom and bride rejoice. Blessed are you who created joy and gladness, groom and bride, jubilation and song, pleasure and delight, love and harmony, peace and friendship. 7 blessings, connecting past, present, future, connecting creation, redemption, restoration. Boaz placed a glass cup on the ground, wrapped in cloth, stepped on it. Crash. Shards. To remember, the rabbi explained, though we all knew, to remember that the temple was destroyed, that we live in exile, that the world is broken, that even in our greatest joy, we remember sorrow, and we long for the day the Messiah will come, that everything will be restored, that there will be no more crying, no pain, no death. Mazel tov, the crowd exploded. Mazel tov. We were married, officially, completely, finally. Boaz lifted the veil, saw me, really saw me, and smiled, that smile I would treasure in my heart forever. My wife, my husband, and we kissed, there, in front of everyone, permitted now, legal, sacred. The world exploded in joy. The wedding night was complicated. The house Boaz had built was small, 2 rooms, one for living, one for sleeping, but it was ours, completely ours. Relatives and friends took us to the door, singing, laughing, making jokes, some appropriate, others not so much. Then they withdrew, leaving us alone, for the first time, alone, as husband and wife. Neither of us really knew what to do. We knew theoretically, my mother had explained, basically. The other women whispered, but theory is different from practice. We'll figure it out together, Boaz said, gentle, patient, no rush, slowly, okay? Okay. It was painful for me. The first time is. My mother had warned, it will hurt, it will bleed a little, it's normal, it's natural, it's how it should be. But Boaz was careful, gentle, stopping when I asked, waiting, asking if I was okay, if he could continue, and when it was done, he held me, just held. Nothing sexual, just intimacy, closeness, union. In the morning, the sheet was examined, custom, verification of virginity. There should be blood, proof that I was pure, untouched before. There was, of course there was, and my mother-in-law showed it with pride. My daughter-in-law is a woman of honor. I was embarrassed, but also relieved, because if there was no blood, there would be doubts, suspicions, dishonor, even being innocent. But everything was right, everything legal, everything as it should be, and our life together truly began. I got pregnant 3 months later. I knew before the monthly bleeding even failed to come. I felt different. Sore breasts, morning nausea, constantly tired. My mother confirmed it. You're pregnant, daughter. Congratulations. You'll give your husband a child, a son or daughter, a blessing either way. Boaz cried when I told him, literally cried, tears of joy streaming down his face. I'm going to be a father, me, an orphan boy who had nothing. Now I have a beautiful wife, my own house, and a child coming. The eternal is good, so good. But 3 months later, I woke up with cramps. Terrible, tearing, as if something inside was being ripped out. Blood, a lot of blood, much more than normal menstruation. And then the baby, tiny, no bigger than my hand, barely formed, lifeless. Miscarriage, my mother explained. It happens. The first trimester is risky. The body sometimes rejects, especially the first pregnancy. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't punishment. It was just nature, a broken world. But it hurt. God, how it hurt. Not just physically, though that hurt too, but emotionally, spiritually. I cried for days. Boaz held me, crying too. 2 broken hearts, shared grief. "We'll have others," he whispered. "I promise, we'll have others, when it's the right time." And we did. 2 years later, I got pregnant again. This time, I passed 3 months, 4, 5, 6, belly growing, baby moving, ticking, alive. Labor started at dawn. Pains, contractions, waves of pressure. It lasted all day, from sunrise until night. Hours of work, of pushing, of screaming. The midwives, my mother-in-law, Miriam, now married too, encouraging me. "Push, more, almost there. I see the head, dark hair. Push, one last push." Tearing, burning, then relief, and crying. That most beautiful sound in the universe. "It's a boy." The midwife lifted him, blood and fluid dripping, cords still attached, but alive, crying, perfect. "A son! You gave your husband a son!" Boaz entered. Wasn't supposed to enter during birth, but didn't care. He took the baby after they cut the cord, washed him, wrapped him. His hands trembled so much I feared he'd drop him, but he held tight, looking, tears streaming without shame. "My son, my son!" We named him Jacob, in honor of my paternal grandfather, my father's father, who had died before Boaz met the family. Jacob grew strong, healthy, dark hair, curious eyes, always moving, always exploring, always causing small disasters. "He's like Jonathan," I laughed, "another hurricane." 2 years later, Rachel came, named in honor of my mother. The birth was easier, faster, as if the body remembered what to do. Rachel was different from her brother, calm, observant, quiet, big eyes absorbing everything. 2 children, 1 of each, boy and girl. Our house complete, our heart complete. Those were the golden years. Boaz prospering in business, expanding, not just oil now, but fabrics, spices, tools, pottery. He traveled frequently, but always came back, always bringing gifts, always with stories. I took care of the house, the children, wove as my mother had taught me, not as well as her, never as well, but well enough. Cooked, cleaned, created home. The neighbors envied us, gently, without malice, but envied. "You're blessed," they said, "really blessed. Hard-working husband, healthy children, comfortable house, enough food. The Eternal smiles on you." And he smiled, we thought. We really thought he smiled. I was 27 years old, Boaz 32, in the prime of life, healthy, strong, happy, genuinely happy. And then, a year later, everything changed. The bleeding started and never stopped. My father sold 3 of his best mules, the ones he used to carry oil jars on long trips to the coast. He sold them for less than they were worth. He needed money fast. "For the doctors," he said simply when Boaz protested. Firm, final, not accepting discussion. "She's my daughter, my only daughter. I do what's necessary. Anything, everything." We went to another doctor, Constantine, a Greek from Tiberias. He had studied in Alexandria, the great center of medical learning in the civilized world, at least according to him. He had different theories. It wasn't humor imbalance, he insisted. It was the womb, that mysterious feminine organ, an organ that could move inside the body, literally wander, cause all kinds of problems. "The wandering womb," he explained in fluent Greek. Boaz translated for me. Hippocrates first described it. The womb is like an animal inside the woman. When it's not satisfied, when it doesn't have male seed regularly to calm it, it wanders, rises, presses other organs, causes hysteria, causes abnormal bleeding, even causes madness. Hysteria, a word that came from hystera, womb in Greek, as if all female madness could be reduced to a rebellious organ. The solution is fumigation. He prepared a small brazier, hot coals, dried herbs on top, myrrh, aromatic resin from Arabian trees, asafoetida, foul-smelling resin from a Persian plant,
You squat over the smoke. The womb smells it, is attracted, descends back to its place. Problem solved. It cost 4 silver coins, more expensive than Eliezer. I squatted over that stinking smoke for an hour, every day, for a week. Eyes burning, tears streaming, throat burning, coughing until I felt my lungs would come out through my mouth. It didn't work. The bleeding continued exactly the same. A Syrian doctor in Capernaum had a different method, cauterization. The problem is a defect in the womb tissue, he said in heavily accented Aramaic. Diseased tissue, tissue that bleeds when it shouldn't. I need to kill that tissue, burn it, seal it, like sealing a leak in a clay jar with fire. He heated irons in the fire, small, thin, but when he pulled them out, the tips glowed red, almost white, incandescent, heat radiating in visible waves. This will hurt, he said bluntly, no softening, no lying. A lot, but it's necessary, the only way. Boaz and my mother held me, one on each side, hands on my shoulders, on my legs, so I wouldn't move, wouldn't escape the coming pain. The doctor inserted the iron. The pain. There are no words in human language, no concepts in the human mind. It was fire. It was torture. It was the hell that pagans described. It was every nerve ending in my body screaming at once. It was the universe collapsing into a point of pure agony. I screamed so much I lost my voice, screamed until no sound came out, just air tearing through my raw throat until it bled. The smell. God, the smell. Burning flesh. My own flesh burning. Sweet and nauseating at the same time. A smell that haunts nightmares, that doesn't forget. Never. He did it 3 times. 3 different places inside me. 3 eternities of agony. It cost 6 silver coins, the most expensive consultation yet. The bleeding didn't stop. But now I had internal burns, scars that hurt, that burned with every movement, every step, every breath, making every movement additional torture. My father sold half the flock, 20 sheep that he and my grandfather, Benjamin, had raised since they were lambs, that he knew by name, that were as much part of the family as any human member. He sold them to a Damascus merchant, for less than half their fair value, but he needed money, desperately. Devorah, Boaz's mother, my in-law, sold her 2 looms, the looms she had used all her life, that her late husband Nachshon had made with his own hands, the looms that were her only way to earn a living, only skill, only source of independence. She sold them to buy more treatments, more false hopes, more money thrown into a bottomless pit. We went to a Persian doctor in Sepphoris. He prepared potions, exotic mixtures of plants that only grew in Persia, he said, brought by the Silk Road from distant lands of the East. Very expensive, rare, but powerful. Dried ground roots, colored powders, reds, yellows, greens, blues, mixed with strange oils, with smells I didn't recognize, with tastes that made sour wine seem like honey. I drank every night for 2 months, 8 weeks of dwindling hope. It made me dizzy, nauseous. I saw things that weren't there, shadows moving on the walls when no one moved, voices whispering words I didn't understand, faces appearing and disappearing. It's the healing spirits working, the Persian doctor said seriously, believing or pretending to believe, fighting against the disease spirits inside you, a spiritual war. You need to let them work. Don't resist. I let them for 2 full months, spending 8 silver coins, 8 coins that could have bought a new donkey, or half a cow, or food for 3 months. It didn't work. Not at all. The bleeding continued, constant, endless, draining life drop by drop. Jacob was 11 now, Rachel 9. They didn't remember when I was different, when I was strong, when I could carry them, hug them, be a real mother. All they knew was the pale woman in the corner, the woman who couldn't touch,
the woman who smelled of old blood and disease. "Why can't Mom hug me?" Jacob asked his father for the 1,000th time, frustration in his young voice, not understanding. How could he understand? Other boys have mothers, mothers who hug, mothers who kiss. Why can't mine? "Because she's sick," Boaz's automatic answer. Tired, empty, no hope remaining. "The law says she can't touch while she has the flow. We've explained this. But it's been years, years and years. When will she get better? When will she be a real mother again?" Soon. A lie. We knew it was a lie. He knew. I knew. Even Jacob probably knew but pretended not to. We pray every day. Soon the Eternal will answer. But the prayers seem to hit the ceiling and fall back. No answer. No relief. Nothing. Jonathan, my brother, had married 3 years ago to a woman from Nazareth, Teresa. She was difficult, controlling, stingy, not cruel, just practical, calculating, protecting her own and her immediate family's interests. They moved to Nazareth, 2 hours' walk from Merom, far enough to not have to help much, close enough to not seem like total abandonment. Jonathan came sometimes, alone, never with his wife, never with the 2 small children they had now. Teresa doesn't think it's... He'd stop, couldn't finish the sentence. Obvious discomfort, even shame. Doesn't think it's wise to bring children near the disease. It might be contagious, it might pass, we don't know. I understand, I'd say, and I did understand. Who could blame Teresa? I was a walking abomination, personified impurity. Why risk healthy children? Jonathan would leave a few coins, never much, never enough to make a real difference, and he'd leave quickly, relieved to escape, to return to normal life away from disease, away from a reminder of mortality, of fragility, of a broken world. We tried another doctor, another method, always another, always renewed hope, always inevitable disappointment. An Egyptian doctor in Ptolemy's, he used cupping, heated glass cups. The bad blood accumulates under the skin, he explained in broken Greek mixed with Egyptian. It needs to be extracted, pulled out. Winds cause what occurs. Cups create suction, pull bad blood to the surface, purify the body. He had maybe 20 glass cups, small, round. He heated each one over an oil lamp flame, waited until they were hot, very hot. Then he pressed them against my skin, on my back, on my belly, on my arms, on my thighs. Everywhere there was skin. The heat burned. Then the vacuum pulled, the skin being sucked into the cup, turning purple, then black, blood being forced to the surface. "Good, very good," he said with each new cup. "I see bad blood coming. It's working, definitely working." When he finished, my body was covered with purple and black circles, looking like I'd been beaten, brutally, repeatedly. Each circle hurt, throbbed, pulsed with its own pain. It cost 5 silver coins per session, 3 sessions, 15 coins total. The bleeding didn't stop, didn't decrease, didn't change color or consistency, just continued, as always. In the 6th year of the disease, my father fell in the fields. He was 62, a good age. Many didn't get that far in those days, but the stress, the worry, the financial loss, everything took its toll. It had started with chest pains weeks before, tightness, like a giant hand squeezing. I begged to live. I had no choice. I couldn't work. Who would hire an unclean woman? Who would let me touch something they would later have to touch? No one. So I begged. I sat on a corner, far enough from people not to offend, close enough to be seen. Hand outstretched, head down, hoarse voice pleading. Charity for the love of the Eternal. Charity for a poor woman, a sick woman. Please, anything. May the Eternal bless you. Sometimes someone threw a coin, small bronze, almost worthless, but enough to buy stale bread or olives
or water when I couldn't reach the public well. Most times, nothing. Just people passing, looking away, pretending I didn't exist, that I wasn't there, that I wasn't their problem. And maybe I really didn't exist, not in the way that mattered. I was a ghost, a shadow of something that was once human, surviving, just barely. 2 years like that. 2 years at the bottom of the pit, at the nadir of existence. My body continued deteriorating. 12 years of bleeding did irreparable damage. My skin became even paler, translucent, blue veins visible everywhere. Arms, legs, face, neck, like I was becoming transparent, slowly disappearing. My hair lost its shine, became dull, brittle, thin. But it didn't all fall out. I still had hair, just dead, lifeless. My body thinned to the bones, every rib countable, every vertebra of the spine visible, protruding hips, joints too large, like a skeleton poorly covered with thin skin. But my teeth held. They didn't fall out, thank the eternal, because without teeth, without chewing, without eating, quick death would come. And the bleeding, the damned bleeding that never stopped. 12 years, 144 months, more than 4,000 days, bleeding every day, every single day of my life. I was 40 years old, but I looked 60, 70. I looked like the living dead, a body that forgot to die. And then I started to hear the stories about Jesus of Nazareth, a rabbi, a teacher, but more than that, much more, something different, something new, something impossible. It was the fishermen who told first. I was near the dock, begging, trying to get a small fish that someone might throw away. The fishermen were sometimes generous, sometimes. And I heard. You heard? About the rabbi from Nazareth? Which one? There are so many rabbis. Every village has at least 3. This one's different. Jesus, son of Joseph the carpenter. They say he healed a Roman officer's son without even going to the house. Just spoke, said, "Be healed." And the boy who was at the death's door, burning with fever, delirious, agonizing, just got up, healed, completely healed, as if he'd never been sick. Impossible. I know the family. The centurion is named Longinus, stationed here in Capernaum, a pagan, but fair, treats his servants well, and his only son was dying, really dying. They called doctors. Nothing worked, getting worse every hour. Then the centurion heard about Jesus, went to find him, didn't ask Jesus to come, just said, "Lord, I'm not worthy for you to come under my roof, but speak a word and my son will be healed." And Jesus smiled, said, "Go. As you have believed, so it will be done." And at that exact moment, witnesses swear, the boy got up, fever gone, color returned, asked for food, like nothing had happened. I listened, but didn't believe. Not in that moment. Miracle stories always circulated, always failed when investigated closely, always had a rational explanation. Always. But the stories didn't stop. They multiplied. At the synagogue, where I stayed outside, listening through the open windows, because I couldn't enter being unclean, the men talked excitedly. He cast out a demon in our own synagogue, here in Capernaum, on Shabbat. The man had been possessed for years, screaming obscenities, violent, strong as a bull, needed 4 men to hold him when the fits came, and Jesus just commanded, "Be silent, come out of him." And the demon screamed, shrieked, threw the man to the ground, then came out. and the man was sane, perfectly sane, clear eyes, normal voice, thanking, crying with joy. "I saw it with my own eyes," another confirmed. "It's not a trick, not an illusion, not suggestion or mass hysteria. It's real power. Power that doesn't come from man, can only come from God." The stories multiplied like bread. Impossible to track them all, impossible to verify them all, but so many, from so many sources, so many people. A woman with high fever, Peter's mother-in-law, one of the fishermen who followed Jesus. She was dying, burning, delirious. Jesus touched her hand, just touched. The fever left instantly. She got up, started serving, as if she'd never been sick. A leper, covered with sores, flesh rotting, fingers falling off, nose disintegrating, shouting, "Unclean, unclean," as the law required, keeping distance, not allowed in cities, not allowed near healthy people. He approached Jesus, breaking all the rules, risking being stoned to death. "Lord, if you're willing, you can make me clean." And Jesus, also breaking all the rules, touched him, touched a leper, making himself ritually unclean, risking contagion, defying convention, ignoring the law. "I am willing, be clean." And the leprosy disappeared instantly. Rotting skin regenerated, sores closed, new flesh grew, fingers that had fallen off. Some said they grew back. Impossible, but so many witnessed, swore, insisted. A paralytic, a story all Capernaum knew, impossible not to know. 4 friends carried him to where Jesus was teaching in a house. They couldn't get in through the door, too many people, literally impossible to pass. So they climbed onto the roof, opened a hole, and lowered the man on a mat right in front of Jesus. Boldness, desperation, faith, madness, all mixed together. Jesus looked at the paralytic and didn't say, "Be healed," not immediately. He said something strange, something unexpected, something that made the Pharisees present furious. "Son, your sins are forgiven." Sins? The man had come for physical healing. Jesus offered spiritual forgiveness. The Pharisees murmured, "Blasphemy! Only God can forgive sins. Who does this man think he is?" And Jesus, knowing exactly what they were thinking, said, "Which is easier, to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Get up and walk'? But so you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." He turned to the paralytic, "Get up, take your mat, and go home." And the man, who hadn't moved his legs in years, maybe since birth, maybe since an accident, didn't matter which. The point was it was permanent, irreversible. Doctors had declared it impossible, a condition that would last until death. It was Shabbat. Jesus was in the synagogue. The Pharisees were watching, waiting, hoping he would heal on the day of rest so they could accuse him. Work was forbidden on Shabbat, and they considered healing work, therefore breaking the commandment, therefore blasphemy. Jesus knew they were watching, knew they were waiting, knew they were trying to trap him, and he called the man anyway. "Come here, stand in the middle, in front of everyone." Then he asked the Pharisees directly, challenging, "What's permitted on Shabbat? To do good or to do evil? To save a life or to destroy it?" Silence. They couldn't answer. They couldn't because any answer would incriminate them. Jesus looked around, and witnesses said his face showed anger, holy anger, righteous anger against hardness of heart, against religiosity without mercy, against rules that crushed people. Then he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." And the man stretched it out, and as he stretched, in the exact moment, the hand was restored, completely whole.
Muscles returned, fingers worked, strong as the other, as if it had never been withered. It wasn't a gradual process. It wasn't slow improvement.
And the universe stopped. Power. There's no other word, no adequate description. Pure power. Entering my body like lightning, like a river of liquid light, like fire that doesn't burn but purifies. It swept through me, through every vein, every organ, every cell, every molecule. And the blood that had flowed for 12 years, stopped instantly, completely, absolutely stopped. I felt the exact moment, like a faucet turned off, like a wound sealed, like what was broken being fixed. The weakness that had consumed me for 12 years disappeared. The pain in my broken ribs, the pain in my crushed hand, everything disappeared. Strength, real strength returned to my legs, to my arms, to my body. I stayed on my knees, panting, trembling, barely believing. And the universe stopped. Power. There's no other word, no adequate description. Pure power. Entering my body like lightning, like a river of liquid light, like fire that doesn't burn but purifies. It swept through me, through every vein, every organ, every cell, every molecule. And the blood that had flowed for 12 years, stopped instantly, completely, absolutely stopped. I felt the exact moment, like a faucet turned off, like a wound sealed, like what was broken being fixed. The weakness that had consumed me for 12 years disappeared. The pain in my broken ribs, the pain in my crushed hand, everything disappeared. Strength, real strength returned to my legs, to my arms, to my body. I stayed on my knees, panting, trembling, barely believing. I'm healed, really healed. The blood stopped, the strength returned. I'm healed. I laughed, a strange sound, half sob, half laugh, half cry, pure, incredulous joy. And then he stopped. Jesus stopped walking. The crowd still pushed. Jairus still begged urgency. His daughter was dying. Every second mattered. But he stopped. He turned and spoke. Who touched me? His voice, deep, calm, but with an authority that made the crowd fall silent. Everyone stopped. Everyone looked. Peter, one of his disciples, a big, strong fisherman, said the obvious, almost irritated with the question. Master, the crowd is pressing against you and crushing you from all sides. Dozens of people touching you, hundreds, and you ask who touched me? Someone touched me, Jesus insisted, eyes scanning the crowd, searching. I felt power go out from me. Power doesn't leave without reason. Someone touched with faith, with intention, with need. Who was it? He was looking, really looking, searching. And I knew. I knew he was looking for me. Fear came, intense, paralyzing, freezing. I did something wrong. I touched a holy man while unclean. I'll be punished. I'll be exposed. Everyone will know. Everyone will hate me. They'll stone me. I'll die here, now. But I couldn't hide. Not after what he'd done for me. Not after the miracle. Trembling, but not from weakness. Now it was from fear. I stood up, made my way through the crowd. People stepped back, seeing my state. The mud, the blood, the dirt. I came before him, and I threw myself at his feet, prostrate, face on the ground, crying, sobs tearing through my chest, tears mixed with mud on my face. It was me. My voice came out breaking, torn, hoarse.
It was me who touched you, Lord. Forgive me. I was unclean for 12 years. 12 years with a flow of blood. I spent everything I had on doctors. Every coin, every possession. I sold everything, lost everything. My family, my marriage, my children, my life. Everything. And no one could heal me. No one. They all failed. So when I heard about you, about the miracles, the lepers healed, the paralytics walking, the blind seeing, I thought if I could just touch the edge of your cloak, just the fringes, the sacred tzitzit, I would be healed. And I was. The moment I touched you, I felt it. The blood stopped. The strength returned. I'm healed, completely healed. Forgive me for touching you while unclean. Forgive me for making you unclean too. Forgive me. Daughter. The words stopped me, like a brick wall, like a gentle but firm hand. Daughter. When was the last time anyone called me daughter? When was the last time anyone called me anything other than the unclean one, or the one with the flow, or that woman? I lifted my eyes, and I saw him for the first time. Really saw him. His face. It wasn't like I'd imagined during all those years hearing stories. He didn't have a golden halo, didn't glow with supernatural light, wasn't an angel, wasn't a vision. It was a human face, a Jewish face, tanned from the Galilean sun, with lines around the eyes of someone who smiles a lot, with a full, well-groomed beard, with long brown hair to his shoulders according to custom. But his eyes were different, deep, infinite, brown, but with a depth that seemed bottomless, as if they saw not just my face, but through it, to the soul, to everything I was, everything I'd suffered, everything I'd lost, everything I'd been, and everything I would be. And there was no condemnation there. None. Zero. Just love. Pure love. Unconditional. Immense. Love that asked nothing. Love that only gave. Daughter, he said again, his voice soft now, tender, fatherly. Your faith has healed you. Not me. Your faith. That fragile thread of hope. That desperate what if. That last effort when everything seemed lost. That is faith. And that faith healed you. Go in peace and be free from your suffering. Not just the physical disease, but everything. All shame, all guilt, all impurity, everything. You are free, completely free. Faith. He called it faith. That stumbling hope. That last thread of maybe. That desperate touch. He called it faith and said it was enough. Go in peace, he repeated, and he smiled. That smile that gave life, that gave hope, that gave future. You are my daughter. You always were, even when everyone avoided you, even when you thought God had forgotten you. You were always my daughter, and now everyone will know. I stood up. For the first time in years, so many years, I stood up without effort, without weakness, without pain. Strong, complete, healed. The crowd looked at me, amazed. Some people began to clap, others to praise God aloud. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, blessed be the name. But I could only look at him, at Jesus, at the man who gave me my life, who gave me more than life, who gave me back hope, dignity, future, identity. He nodded, gentle, encouraging. Then he turned, continued on his way to Jairus' house to save another life, to give hope to another family. And I stood there, transformed, renewed, reborn. 12 years of death ended in an instant, and life, true life, was beginning. I didn't immediately return to the ruin where I'd been living. I couldn't. I needed to process, understand, absorb. I went to the lake, to the shore, where the water gently lapped at the sand and stones. I needed to wash, remove the mud, the dried blood, the dung, the filth of 12 years. I entered the water, fully clothed. I didn't care. I needed it, desperately. The water was cold, refreshing, alive. I washed my face, my arms, my hair, scrubbing, cleaning, removing. And then I saw it, my reflection in the water, rippling but visible. It wasn't the reflection of the living dead I had been. It was me, Tamar, as I was before, as I should be, but better. My skin wasn't translucent anymore. It was flushed, pink, healthy, with the color of life. My hair, even wet and messy, had shine, life. No,
I saw him raise the dead, Jairus' daughter, the same daughter. On the same day I was healed. After Jesus spoke to me, he continued to Jairus' house, but someone came with news. Your daughter is dead. Don't bother the teacher anymore. Dead, 12 years old, the same age as my disease. 12 years she lived. 12 years I died. And now she had truly died. But Jesus ignored the news, as if he hadn't heard, or as if it didn't matter. Don't be afraid, just believe. He entered the house, took only Peter, James, and John, and the parents. We waited outside, hearing the professional mourners already crying, already wailing, their job to lament the dead. Jesus sent them away. The girl is not dead, she's sleeping. They laughed at him, mocked, because they had checked. She was dead. No pulse, no breathing, no life. But he entered the room, took her hand, said, Talitha Kumi, in Aramaic, our language. Little girl, get up. And she got up, opened her eyes, sat up, looked around, confused, but alive, totally alive. The parents fell at his feet, crying, thanking, worshiping. And Jesus, as always, downplayed it. Give her something to eat. She's hungry, and don't tell anyone. As if raising the dead were a normal thing, every day. As if power over death were expected. But I also saw the opposition grow. The Pharisees hated him because he broke their rules, ate with tax collectors and sinners, healed on Shabbat, touched the unclean, defied traditions. The Sadducees feared him because he attracted crowds, because that could bring Rome's attention, because he threatened the fragile peace they maintained. Herod Antipas was curious, wanted to see a miracle, as if it were a show, entertainment. And Rome just watched, waiting, ready to crush anything that looked like rebellion, that threatened the Pax Romana. Jesus knew, saw everything, and continued anyway. He spoke about coming suffering, about death, about resurrection on the third day. We didn't understand. How could he talk about death when he brought so much life? But he knew. He always knew. Then came the final journey to Jerusalem for Passover in the 3rd year of his ministry. Our family didn't go. Boaz had business, and the journey was long, expensive, difficult with young children. But we heard. The news traveled fast. Merchants bringing stories, pilgrims returning, everyone telling. He entered Jerusalem riding on a donkey, the crowds cheering, shouting, Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord, placing cloaks on the ground, cutting palm branches. They thought he would finally establish the kingdom, expel Rome, restore Israel. But that's not what happened. He went to the temple, drove out the merchants, overturned the money changers' tables. My house will be called a house of prayer, but you've made it a den of thieves. And he taught every day in the temple about God's kingdom, about love, about forgiveness, about true justice. And the religious leaders hated him even more. They plotted, they conspired, they looked for a way to kill him without causing a riot. Judas, one of the 12, helped them, betrayed for 30 pieces of silver. On Thursday night, Jesus was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane by temple guards, Roman soldiers, swords and torches. Peter tried to fight, cut off a servant's ear, but Jesus stopped him. Put away the sword. This is not the way. And he went, voluntarily, peacefully, like a lamb to slaughter. Friday, the trial. Fast, illegal, conducted at night, breaking all the rules. False accusations, lying witnesses. And when nothing worked, the direct question, are you the Mashiach, the son of the Blessed One? I am. 2 words, in Aramaic, Ena Na. But everyone knew what they meant. The sacred name, the name God revealed to Moses at the burning bush. I am who I am. Jesus wasn't just saying he was the Mashiach, he was saying he was God. Blasphemy. The high priest tore his own robes. What need we have of more witnesses? You heard the blasphemy. Condemned to death. But they couldn't execute him. Rome kept the right of capital punishment, so they took him to Pilate, the Roman governor. They changed the accusations, no longer blasphemy. The Romans didn't care about our religious laws, but sedition. He claims to be king of the Jews. That's treason against Caesar. Pilate interrogated him, came out, said, I find no fault in this man. He tried to release him, offered to free Jesus or Barabbas, a murderer, as was custom at Passover. The crowd chose Barabbas. Crucify him! Crucify him! Pilate tried again. What evil has he done? Crucify him! And Pilate, a coward, gave in, literally washed his hands, as if that absolved him. I am innocent of this righteous man's blood. This is on you. And the leaders, our own leaders, shouted, His blood be on us and our children. Words that haunted me, that haunt still. The crucifixion. I wasn't there. We heard about it 2 days later, news brought by a merchant returning from Jerusalem. Crucified. Jesus had been crucified, between 2 thieves, at Golgotha, the place of the skull. Dead, buried. We collapsed, the whole family, crying, inconsolable. How could it be? How could the man who raised the dead himself be dead? Where was the promised kingdom? Where was the restoration? Where was the hope? Everything seemed lost, finished, over. For 3 days the world was gray, colorless, joyless, futureless. And then, on the 3rd day, Sunday, different news came. Not from a merchant, but from pilgrims running, shouting, almost incoherent. He's risen! Jesus has risen! The tomb is empty! He's alive! We didn't believe at first. How could we? The dead don't rise. Not like that. Not really. But they kept coming. More people, more witnesses, more stories. The women went to the tomb at dawn to finish preparing the body, with spices, with ointments. They found the tomb empty, the stone rolled away, the burial cloths folded. Angels appeared. Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen. Mary Magdalene saw him in the garden, thought he was the gardener until he said her name, Mary, and she recognized him. That voice, that presence, that love. Rabboni, Master. 2 disciples saw him on the road to Emmaus, walked with him, talked, didn't recognize him until he broke bread. Then their eyes were opened. The 11 saw him together,
locked in a room, afraid. He appeared, in the middle of them. Locked doors were no barrier. Peace be with you. He showed his hands, his feet, his side, the marks of the nails, the wound from the spear. Touch me, see me. I'm not a spirit. I have flesh and bones. He ate fish in front of them, proving he was real, physical, resurrected. Thomas wasn't there. When they told him, he didn't believe. Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, put my finger where the nails were, I won't believe. A week later, Jesus appeared again. Thomas was present. Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side. Stop doubting and believe. And Thomas, touching the wounds, fell to his knees. My Lord and my God. The news reached Capernaum, and we needed to see, needed to know, needed to believe. Our family went. We traveled to Jerusalem. Boaz, me, the children, the mothers, everyone. We arrived a week later, but he was still appearing to many, in many places. And we saw him in Galilee, by the sea, preparing breakfast for the disciples, grilled fish over coals. He was there, real, solid, alive, the marks still visible, but glorified, different but recognizable. And when our eyes met, his and mine, he smiled. That smile, that love, unchanged, untiring, eternal. I ran, fell at his feet, crying, thanking, worshiping. My daughter, he said, touching my head, blessing. I always knew you'd come. Always knew you'd believe. Your faith saved you then. Your faith saves you now. Keep believing. Keep telling. Keep living. Because I live. And because I live, you will also live forever.